Here we are. This is who we are.
Are you ready for Mariah?
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right, there it is. There it is. All right. All right, Nathan, this is from Stella, who has given us this interview journey. This is the third video of said journey that Stella gave us. That we've been watching the 1993 interview that she did, and then we watched this fan-made video of her butterfly kind of... Oh, I didn't make the connection. She was a cocoon. She was trapped in this cocoon.
I figured that out as soon as I saw a butterfly.
Like a butterfly. Well, you didn't tell me, and I figured it out on my own.
This is what a butterfly looks like when it's flapping its wings?
Yes.
What are you, like a giant eagle?
Anyways. I don't know why. Look, hey, I didn't say I was very smart, okay? I honestly just thought it was a cute bug that she wanted on her album, but that makes sense. She broke free like a butterfly. Okay. I'm an idiot. All right. Well, people know that already. So, okay. So, Nathan, we are now doing a full interview in 2006, again with Barbara Walters. And this is what Stella had to say. This interview is a full circle moment. In 2001, Mariah released a soundtrack album for the movie Glitter. Oh, I seem to recall that movie didn't do well, which she had been working on for a few years prior. During the Glitter era, she faced a career and personal crisis. The album and movie underperformed, partly due to their release on 9/11, and her ex-husband sabotaging her. Oh, what a sweetheart of a guy! That guy is just what a he's just so adorable, and not vindictive or She then exhibited erratic behavior, was hospitalized for exhaustion, and was later dropped by Virgin Records in early 2002. Oof, that is a bad year. The same year, she signed with Island Records and released Charm Bracelet, marking her comeback. She later revealed she had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. In 2005, Mariah made a massive comeback with her album, The Emancipation of Mimi, which became one of the best-selling albums of the year. So now we are going to watch the interview with Barbara Walters right now.
Her 12,000 square foot Manhattan apartment, designed by the famed
12,000 square foot apartment? It's an apartment? Yeah.
That's a whole floor.
You can fit 30 families in that. All right. Good for Mariah. That's all from the Christmas song, by the way. I think that song alone paid for this apartment.
Mario Bawata is every woman's fantasy. Mariah Carey escapes here to watch movies in the Mermaid Room.
That's right. Marriage. I love Barbara. I love
us together today.
Is that a bed in the kitchen? What is that? Is that a what
it's
is that room?
Chaise.
Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It means couch / bed / I don't know. I bet you
play with her
people.
Oh, a little doggy there.
Famous dog Jack in the kitchen. To rest her voice by sleeping in a custom steam room. To entertain in her living room, where her idol Marilyn Monroe's piano is placed almost as a shrine.
Wow.
A floor.
And this is where she takes a shit.
That recently used toilet paper.
Can you imagine?
Used by me after I entered.
How would a Barbara say? All right.
Oh, yes. That's what it is. Now I'm imagining some very wonderful things.
Yeah, I've already imagined wonderful things with...
Below, one bathroom is also dedicated to Marilyn, and another one is a playful repository of all things Hello Kitty, gifts mostly from her Japanese fans. This is also where Mariah from working class Long Island becomes Mariah the superstar.
Mariah, I've never seen anything like this. It's like a movie set.
Well, that's a pretty big statement coming from you.
The closet is bigger than most people's living rooms. And still, Mariah tells me she has nothing to wear.
I call it the family room.
That's fine if she has nothing to wear. No one will complain over you.
Oh, darn it.
Oh, darn it. I don't know what
will
I'm
you wear?
Yeah. I agree. She deserves the little we know that what she went through in her early career. Good for her. Lap it up. Enjoy it. You earned it. Hey, you earned it. If fans didn't show up, if they didn't go and buy your albums or go to your tours, you wouldn't be here. So fans seem to like you, and you deserve it. Good for you. Yeah.
And that's because I put all the pictures that basically my...
Through another door, it gets personal. Here is her life in photos. The black father, the white mother. It's a memory room.
There you go.
Memories of a mother disowned by her family for marrying a black man.
Oh,
Memories of her parents' divorce and a life of transience and turmoil.
This was my...
It's so crazy that her mother married a white mother married a black man. They ended up getting divorced all the same. I bet you. I wonder if that came from family pressure and
everything else that went with it. Yeah.
But what's fascinating though, Nathan, that even though the parents got divorced and the in-laws were jerks, they still produced Mariah. You get what I'm saying? Like, isn't that kind of crazy that? Yeah. So sometimes the artist is born out of tribulation. Sometimes that does happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, not sometimes. There's a lot of examples of artists that come from those. There's some that come from very stable homes too, but
sure,
like by and large, some of the best people on the planet tend to come from those really dysfunctional kinds of situations where they were able to make something out of it. Like, it always feels like
it's weird how oft that it is. It's weird. I mean, this is totally a different avenue of success, but Mike Tyson came from a world of trial and tribulation. If he was raised in a loving, beautiful home with two parents who loved him, and he wouldn't be a fighter.
Yeah.
It's very few fighters come from stable upbringings, if that makes sense.
Lots of musicians. My favorite comedian of all time, Robin Williams, a great example. Just really harsh circumstances, and yet just a genius comedian.
Yeah.
My thing.
The fireplace from her own divorce, the only piece she kept from the broken home. Still, she loves this room. Her career began 16 years ago, shepherded by a single man, Tommy Mottola. He was her boss, her mentor, and ultimately her husband. When their marriage was finished, many believed Mariah was also. The Emancipation of Mimi is the valid.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Not only that, her career took off because of the divorce. Good for her.
I wonder about that. I wonder how much of the support that started going towards her way was kind of not sympathy support. That's not what I'm saying at all. That it was almost like
celebration support.
Oh, she deserves this. Like she's a great person. Been through hard things. She deserves the support. I'm going to go buy her record. I'm going to listen to her music, and I'm like that kind of a. I feel that way about a few artists that I've run across that I feel that way.
Of course, yeah. Okay.
Validation of Mariah Carey. It was last year's #1 selling CD, 6 times platinum. And for the record, Mariah has just tied Elvis with 17 #1 singles. Add to that 3 Grammys and a performance at the ceremony 3 weeks ago that's being called one of the greatest of her career.
Wow.
Mariah, you gave a wonderful performance at the Grammys, and you got a standing ovation. And that was terrific. You won 3 awards for R&B.
Yes.
But you did not win the #1 album of the year, even though you had the #1 album of the year. You did not win Best Song of the Year, even though you had the Best Song of the Year. Why?
You know, it actually means more to me to win in the R&B category.
Mariah.
I promise you, I'm not lying to you.
But Barbara, don't you lie to me, girl. Only Barbara can get away with that kind of.
Yep.
But Mariah's like, I'm not lying. So okay, so slow down here. So this is very interesting. So she won. Must be talking about the Grammys. So she won Best R&B Album of the Year, but she didn't win Album of the Year. So Barbara's saying that must have stung a little bit. And let's go back and see.
You know, it actually means more to me to win in the R&B category.
Mariah.
I promise you, I'm not lying to you. Yes, of course I wanted Album of the Year. Who didn't want that?
Good. That's nothing wrong with saying that.
I have a problem with all of these kinds of discussions. And I'm not saying this about Barbara. I'm not saying this about, but I am saying this about award shows and awards in general. Like, I get that, like, there's always people who are deserving. You'll feel that way about every artist that you support.
Of course. Yeah.
But, like, what if there's a song that's better? Or what if there's an album that's better? Like, who are you up against? Right? Like, yeah, if you know, a good example are movies. Whenever movies win in the years that they win, who are they up against? Like, to me, it's kind of a moot point that always feels like, of course, people are deserving. To get nominated is an absolute honor. So I know Mariah gets that. It bothers me when people are like, so and so should have got that award. Like,
it's tough. It's all subjective. It's all subjective at the end of the day, because the people making the votes, from the Academies to the Golden Globes so the Golden Globes is a group of people. Like, there's I think it's only like 50 or 14 to 50 people, a very small group of people. They're called the foreign press. It's not even the actors. So the Academies are different because it's actually people within, directors, screenwriters, producers, actors. They vote. But even then, it's, let's say, political, but it's like, there's hand wringing, back slapping, deal making. So at the end of the day, it really should just be about the fan with the artist saying, hey, I enjoy your music. Does that count for anything? And that's kind of what Barbara's saying. She's saying that. She's saying, you had the number one album, you had the number one song. It's too bad that the people doing the awards didn't recognize that with the public you were number one, but the awards didn't see the same.
And I felt I deserved it. Yeah, that would have been great, but you know what? I'm blessed to have gotten the 3 that I got.
You have written or co-written every song that you've sung.
That's great.
That's
That is
amazing.
great.
And you can't read music.
No, I can't.
So take me through the process. How do you do it?
Let's say I'm working with a great piano player. I can play piano, but I'm terrible. So we'll sit down together, and I'll start humming something, and he'll start playing something. And he'll direct me in one place, and I might say, I'm hearing this chord, and it's almost there, but I hear one little shade of difference. It's humming out chord progressions, because the ideas come too quickly for me as the bleak piano player that I am.
I want to talk about the whole business of you being biracial. When you think of yourself, do you think I'm black, I'm white, I'm neither? What?
Well, I definitely don't think I'm white, because we have the one drop rule in this country, which says if you're one drop, it comes from slavery. All that stuff comes from slavery. I think of myself as a human being.
Whoa, I gotta go back and hear that again.
Lots cut there. Yeah.
Because we've talked about this. I think we asked this question. I think, in fact, I'll say this now. I'll keep this in the edit, but we brought something up regarding, it was me. I cut out me, just so you know. It was a question that I brought up about this. So it's funny. I brought up that question, and when I went to go listen to it again before it went on YouTube, I took it out because it's just ignorance. It's just Ryan talking, because I don't understand this world, because I'm just a white guy. I don't have a drop of anything but white in me.
Cut that out? Why'd you cut it out?
No. Because I forget exactly how it was worded. It didn't fit the flow of our reaction. But now, hearing her talk about that answer is very interesting. I never considered what that means to somebody because we often hear the term I have in my life. We often hear, I'm half black. You never hear I'm half white. You know what I mean by that? Like, you often hear the person will say, I'm half black. I'm half black.
Yeah.
From Barack Obama to Mariah to others. Halle Berry was half black, for example. Like, she won the Academy Award. It's like, it's the first black actress, but she's genetically white as well. But it's referred to as a black wind, right? So let's just hear that answer again.
I want to talk about the whole business of you being biracial. When you think of yourself,
Watch
do
how
you
this
think
is
I'm
cut,
black,
too.
I'm white, I'm neither? What?
Well, I definitely don't think I'm white because we have the one drop rule in this country, which says if you're one drop, it comes from slavery. All that stuff comes from slavery.
So that's the key. Okay. Interesting. That's the connection because it comes from slavery. It's interesting. I understand, but I never looked at it that lens. It's very interesting. Very, very bold of her to speak that way. I don't think I've ever heard of an artist speak that way and that boldly about it that I can recall. And this is 2006, so this was 19 years ago too.
I think of myself as a human being.
You had a difficult childhood.
was
Most
cut
people
right there.
know that, but they don't know the particulars.
Right. There was a lot of turmoil because of the fact that I was from an interracial family and having older siblings who had their own own things going on in their lives.
Okay. When you were growing up, your sister was on the streets. Your sister was a prostitute.
Oh.
Did you know?
Oh, gee. Storm warning.
I wasn't supposed to know things.
Okay, everyone be safe out there with the storm, please. Oh, what was Mariah talking about? Okay, that's a huge... Do we know that?
About her sister being a prostitute? Nope.
Okay, let's just go back. So she must have known, of course.
Did you know?
I wasn't supposed to know things that were going on ever.
Because she's old. That's right. The sister's like 9-10 years older. So even if she was a prostitute at 19, 20, probably in that area, she would have been 9 or 10, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
In my childhood, but I was inquisitive and I was intelligent and I knew things that I wasn't necessarily supposed to know.
What a
Wow.
childhood.
Very diplomatic.
Singing was the escape. When did you know that would be your way out?
From the time I started singing, which was basically simultaneous with the time I started talking, I knew that music was just something I had to have near me. I used to take the radio from the kitchen and put it underneath the covers when I was like 4 years old and just sing with whatever was on the radio. It was always that release for me.
The things that are known about you in this chaotic life, the marriage when you were very young to Tommy Mottola, who helped you with your career and then took over your career. And then you divorced him. The Cinderella story, the great big house you walked away from. You said it was the toughest thing you ever had to do. Why was it so tough?
It was very frightening. I mean, when you are in that world of ultra powerful men and you're really young, it's easy to be controlled and to be scared. And it wasn't just me, everybody around me was scared too. Grown-ups, certain family members told me they were scared when that went on. When we did an interview, I went to Jamaica. I was like, I'm getting out of town.
I did the interview, I remember.
Again, we already spoke on that with the other thing about this guy. Like, that's just... powerful men. Congratulations. It's such a tiresome trope in this world.
Oh, yeah.
All right, poor Mariah. It's too bad she didn't. I don't know what her marriage was like. Is she married to Nick during this time? I don't even know what. Go back to.
Would you say 30? She was 30 something, 37, 36 when she got married.
They got married in 2008, so she wasn't married yet.
Not married to him yet. Yeah.
I wish she just found a better guy.
What's your relationship now with Tommy Mottola?
I haven't spoken to him. You know what? I've had to learn that forgiveness is one of the most important things in life. And so, I hope that he forgives me for anything that I did that hurt him, and I forgive him. Do I wish that I could go back and talk to that really young girl who had no one there to say, you don't have to deal with this? Yeah, I do, but it made me strong enough to deal with anybody, and if anybody thinks they can manipulate me again like that, they are dead wrong.
Okay, well, I hope Nick didn't. What was her marriage to Nick like? They're not together anymore. Did that?
I don't know. I don't even know who he is. Like what his.
Isn't he like on America's Got Talent or something? He ushers.
So he's like another producer.
I think he's like I think he's done some music and acting, and I don't know. He's kind of like he's like a Ryan Seacrest type character. What's his name again? Nick Cannon. Yeah, Nick Cannon. He has like 12 kids too, I think, or something like that. I think. So right here. So Nick Cannon is currently 44. He's got 12 kids. He's done music, hosting gigs, America's Got Talent, business, radio, comedy. He's just like a. I don't know what his marriage was like to Mariah. I'm sure people will let us know. Was he a dick or just wasn't compatible? Or I hope he wasn't a dick to her at least. But here we go. Here's some answers here. So Nick was a small man. He couldn't handle the fact that he was married to Mariah and acts out his insecurities by. Okay, all right. I would love
together. These two,
I would love to like in an alternate universe, of course, because it won't happen this one. But I would love to be the guy that married Mariah and be okay with her success. Like, good job, honey.
Yeah,
you've got it. Go get him. You're
I'll go
awesome.
back to my boring job, just thinking about you the whole time.
Yeah,
and then when we're back together again, I'll just keep on supporting. Like, yeah,
no, you wouldn't have to like. You just have to be her. I wouldn't be arm candy for her, but like I'm just her support and love her and say good job and. We get the order out together and watch movies on the big screen. Like, why is it so hard to be married to people? I don't get why it's so hard to be married to successful. I mean, of course, I love my wife, but if she came home tomorrow and said, "Hey, Ryan, I just got a new job offer where they're going to give me $10 million a year," I can't handle this. I can't handle a powerful woman. Like, why would that bother you? Yes, great. Sounds fast.
Yahoo! Like, yeah.
She's got a big personality. Well, I tell you what, I've got something that's big. I'll tell you that. Big joke teller is what I'm.
5 years ago, 2001, you had an emotional meltdown. You were in rehab for a couple of weeks. Very painful time. You said it was exhaustion. Describe it today. Was that all it was? Exhaustion?
I'm Barbara Walters. I like to ask questions that other people are too afraid to ask. Was it really exhaustion, you lying bitch? No, I'm saying. All right, let's see what.
It was a long time of being exhausted and finally just having the straw that broke the camel's back come in and break it. Why did I say it was the toughest thing I did, leaving the marriage? Because my whole career was tied up in that situation as well.
I just don't think we talked about mental health back then. That's the funny thing. This was 2006. That was 19 years ago. Exhaustion was just, we would say now you needed a mental health break, and it's okay. Like it was a mental health break. But therapy wasn't really talked about even back then. Not like today.
Not like it is today. No.
So that was the blanket statement that PR teams would do for people, like exhausted. Like, what? She's tired. What does that mean?
Yeah, she needs a
Go to
break.
bed. Yeah, that's what.
Time,
she needs
time
off. Yeah, and that's totally valid. Like, can I just be left alone and heal for a second? Mental health break. But that's what we say now. It's mental health. Like, I got to fix myself. Thank you very much. Yeah.
But at a certain point, the fight just got too much for me. And I had to say, look, I'm wasting too much energy on this negativity because I don't live to fight. I live to I'm an artist, and that's what I do. And I had to kind of hit bottom and work myself into the ground in order to wake up one day and be like, you know what? None of this is what really matters. And what matters is I'm blessed with the gift to make music.
It must have been a ghastly time.
It was a horrible.
Stop being so positive. Let's get back to. It's just funny because it's TV. It's entertaining. It's her job. Yes. Like Mariah's like, I know I've overcame and I'm doing good.
Been a ghastly time.
But you must have been. Did you ever think about offing yourself? Please do tell.
Time.
Was there ever a point when you thought of suicide?
Oh, I did not think of suicide.
You called it. You called it.
Holy smokes, Barbara! I was joking. Do you ever think about being like Kurt Cobain?
Can we go one step darker? Can we take this one?
You ever think about grabbing a freaking noose and just jumping off a bridge? Shotgun to the face? What do you got going on here? Tommy, what were the ways you thought about doing yourself in? Holy smokes, Baba.
Suicide, and that's one thing that upset me very much because they were
A gas.
Sorry.
make music.
It must have been a ghastly time.
It was a horrible time.
Was there ever a point when you thought of suicide?
No.
Good.
I did not think of suicide, and that's one thing that upset me very much because there were a lot of young kids who look up to me and believe in what I say, and I did not want them to think that that was a possible way out.
Mariah, you are a survivor. I mean, if ever a word was written for you, it's survivor.
When people have interviewed me for this record in particular about the Emancipation of Mimi and shouldn't this be called the vindication of Mariah Carey and what about all the naysayers that counted you out and this, that, and the third, and it's like, well, if they counted me out, then they just had to count me back in.
Yeah, I agree. Barbara's great. I love her. I love her. I was not expecting that. That was fantastic. Whoa. But that's why she was top tier. She was top tier. Okay. Yeah, fantastic journey, Stella, to take us through those three kind of generational. This is video 3. So if you're watching this, we did, a 1993 interview, 1998, the Butterfly era, like kind of fan-made video edit of her journey. Now 2006. So yeah, we get to know Mariah more as a person. I think it's fantastic. I think it helps us it definitely helped me to get to know her better. I didn't know her at all, really. So I don't think I ever heard her talk before that I can remember, really.
Yeah. You know what I've noticed throughout all the videos, and especially the last one of the things that Mariah carries with her is her eyes. She has such positivity in her eyes, and she doesn't ever seem to be, like, even when she was talking about the really hard things, her eyes still had that light in them that you could just see that she had this, it just felt like they were optimistic all the time. And like, like they talk about people having resting bitch face. Like Mariah doesn't have that.
She doesn't have that, no.
At all. Like she has just that look to her that's very like, you know what, things are going to be okay. I think that's one of the things that I'm starting to figure out from Mariah and listening to her sing and listening to, her talk is you do feel a sense of hope that's carrying her through all that. Like she talked about not exploring, any ideation of suicide. That's actually a pretty good sign that she didn't get to that stage of depression that would have floored a lot of people when for people who struggled with it, that's a really hard stage to be at. So for her to stay away from it and to be able to push through, yeah, she's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. So Nathan, she was in a cocoon. And
oh, you mean
yes, like a